Good morning, everyone. It is Saturday, September 7th, and we are super pumped to bring a special guest on the call for you today, Amanda Steele. But first, I have to say that this call is going to be brought to you by Beach Bar. And I would talk a lot more about this, but I think Amanda's going to bring it up. I'm totally in love with them. My kids eat them every single day, and I get both flavors, and Amanda will probably tell you the good news about it later. But I am going to bring Amanda up, and she's going to talk to you all about healthy snacks, which is great because I'm going to munch on my blueberries and drink my Recover while she talks. All right, Amanda, bring it. One more thing about Amanda. She has gotten some poppin' abs, and you need to listen to her because she's got her nutrition tackled down and tight, so you got to listen to her. All right, go ahead, Amanda. Take it away.
Good morning, guys. I actually do have my coffee. All right, so what I'm going to do is I have a lot of my favorite snacks and some I don't have, but I'm going to let you know. It's just because we haven't restocked our food yet this week. Typically, we do our grocery shopping on Saturday mornings, but that's actually going to wait until Sunday this week. But what I have is, so I actually follow a timed nutrition meal plan. So what that means is the container or the foods that I eat are measured out in containers, and they're actually already pre-planned, and it's determined what foods I should eat together for the best results, and it's timed. So I'm eating about once every 3 hours until all my food for the day is up. But so I'm going to give you some ideas based on the meal plan that I follow, and also then I'll give you some just general basic ideas for somebody who's brand new, who might not necessarily want something so regimented or planned out. And if you're more of a grab and go, or your kids are more of a grab and go, these might be a better fit for you. So I'll start off by yogurt. This is one of the things that I will tell people when they ask me what I like for snacks. Yogurt is really a good one. And one of the things that I do, so plain Greek yogurt is what is suggested specifically on our meal plan. So I just usually buy a big tub of plain Greek yogurt. But I also buy these Light and Fit and so what I do with these is, so this is caramel apple pie. They have a key lime pie, and they also have Boston cream pie. But they have really good flavors like tiramisu. You can buy any of these, and what I do is I split these up into 3. And I actually mix them with the plain Greek yogurt because it cuts down on the sugar. These are actually pretty low in sugar. They're pretty good on their own in terms of nutrition, but I actually don't even like them this sweet. So in order to cut down on the sugar even more and to sort of make it a little bit more meal plan friendly or compliant, I actually just mix it. And so I mix it in my containers that come with our meal plan, and I have a lot of these, so I'll split it into about 3 servings, and this makes these last so much longer because these are about $1 a piece, but it also really makes the flavors last a lot longer, and I really like it. So that's a tip that I really like to give to people. And you can pick and choose. There's obviously pumpkin pie or pumpkin spice stuff coming out, and that's a way to sort of just cut down a little bit on the sweetness, but really give some flavor to your plain Greek yogurt. And I really love that. But some things that you can do with your Greek yogurt is to mix a little bit of peanut butter into it. Make sure that you're measuring it out and you're not doing too much. This is powdered peanut butter. I like to throw this in my shakes, and also you can mix this with water and in a little container and take that on the go. You can eat a little bit more of that powdered peanut butter versus the regular. This is actually dark roasted almond butter. So I measure this out and take them in little containers if I'm on the go, or I just measure it out and eat an apple or banana or some sort of fruit with it. And you can also do that, throw any of that stuff straight into your regular plain Greek yogurt, drizzle it with a little bit of honey, and that's a really good balanced snack idea. So that's the yogurts. And if you're following a meal plan and you're tracking macros or containers or anything, or tracking anything like that, that would just really count as a protein, I think, unless you're adding some fruit or some fat to it.
Amanda, I'm going to cut you off real quick. That is like amazing advice, like genius. I never ever heard of that, and I'm so in love with it. And I want everybody to know that there is a chat button on here. So if you have questions for Amanda, like I have a question right now, please put it in the chat, and I will make sure I'm watching it and asking Amanda as we go through if we have questions, or if they're not necessary right away, we'll answer them at the end. But powdered peanut butter, do you know the measurements for that?
I don't. What I usually do is I have a teaspoon in here, and what I do is whenever I'm throwing it in my shakes, I really just do like a huge heaping teaspoon like this.
Yeah. And you measure that out as 1 teaspoon then?
I kind of count it as a teaspoon because I usually will put about half a cup of almond milk into my shake as well. Okay. But if I'm doing it in, usually what I'll do is I'll fill one of these little orange containers, maybe about halfway, so that's about a tablespoon, a regular tablespoon, mix it with water, and that's still plenty to dip like an apple or something like that in.
Yeah, that's great. And now I know Autumn does have a measurement. That's why I was asking, and I don't remember what it is, but we will get that to you. She just posted this not that long ago in one of the Master Series. Amanda and I are both certified in Ultimate Portion Fix. So I'll get the answer for you in a little bit, but go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, cool. I'd be curious to know what that is actually, because I've just been kind of winging it. All right, so the next one actually goes along with the meal plan that I was telling you about. So I follow a lower plan. It's called Plan B, and there is a meal in Plan B that is actually more like a snack. So that's typically my 2 p.m. snack that I have, and it is comprised of a healthy fat, a fruit, and a vegetable. And so sometimes I'll do something really simple like some carrots, some hummus, and an apple, or carrots, hummus, and a grape, and you can vary the hummuses. I actually have Trader Joe's Buffalo style hummus right now, but one of my other favorites is that I buy almost all the time is the Wegmans spicy lentil. That is like my favorite hummus of all time, and that's usually what I buy. So I like to tell people about that because it's just one of my favorites. But obviously you can go to anywhere and buy hummus, or you can even make your own at home. But sometimes I get really creative, and so this is blueberries, spinach, and feta. I don't know if you can see that. And like, this is huge. Like this, I measured it all out. It's a cup of vegetables, a cup of fruit, and a quarter cup of feta cheese. I put a little bit of fresh cracked black pepper on top, and that's it. You could drizzle some balsamic vinegar on there or any sort of other vinegar on there if you really want to, but I find that I really don't even need it. You don't need oil. You don't need anything. You could, I've made a lot of random little salads like that. Strawberries, cucumbers, and feta is really good. You can make like a spinach, tomato, avocado together and then eat a fruit on the side. So you can really sort of like change it up. I've done peaches, feta, and spinach. So you can really sort of like sweet, it's like a good mix of sweet and savory. And it really turns that like snack into another little meal that's really like really satisfying. It's a lot of food. And people are like, they typically think, you know, I'm never going to get full off of vegetables, a fruit, and, you know, a quarter cup of healthy fat. But really that's a great afternoon snack. It holds me till dinner, and it's delicious. So that's an idea that I really like to get creative with and give people that idea, because that's a really hard thing to pair together until you really start to think about how good it can be. So that's you can do that obviously with goat cheese. You can do that with some nuts too in place of, so I always have pecans. And what I do is, these are pecan pieces. And I figured out that because nuts are really high in fat, they're really good for you, and they have a lot of good like fatty acids and nutrients that our bodies need. But you can't fill the blue container. That's too much. Like, you're going to be over. So I figured out that if you fill this with the pecan pieces, it's equal, or it's about equal. So if you have nut pieces, that's typically what I do. And so if you're throwing it into one of these little salads, that's great. But you can also do this, throw these in your purse, and it's a nice little snack. And I do that the same with pumpkin seeds too. That's a really good thing to just have on hand and just eat in your purse. You just have to be really careful with those sort of things because it's really easy to overeat on those. It's not really that filling, but they're really, really good for you. They will make you feel satisfied for a little bit of time. Just make sure if you're doing that, pair it with a fruit or pair it with a veggie, or better yet, pair it with both. You're really getting nice macronutrient balance there, and you're going to stay fuller longer because then you're full of fiber, you're full of more nutrients, and actually your body can use them all the best because it's all balanced. So those containers are a really good thing to have on hand, and just knowing and understanding what the portions are is power. So if you're confused about that, or you want any a little more guidance on that, you can always ask me. You can ask Ashley. You can ask any of your coaches that are certified to be able to help you do that. And even if we don't know the answers, we have access to people who can help us figure that out for you. So if you have any questions, please ask. There's no stupid questions ever. Speaking of on-the-go stuff, and speaking of our sponsor, Beach Bars are also another really great portable snack. So this is, again, something I like to pair with a fruit, just because these are great on their own. They're very well balanced. But again, if you're adding extra fiber, you're adding extra volume at a lower calorie, you're just going to feel more satisfied. And something like adding a veggie or a fruit to this, isn't going to wreck your progress in any way. It's actually going to keep you fueled a little bit longer while you're out. It's a good thing to have. So you can grab an apple. They're really portable. Peppers, a whole pepper you can eat like an apple. And I know that's really weird, but I've started to do that, and it's actually better for you. The nutrients are retained, because when you cut into something and let it sit, you're not getting as many nutrients as you are if you just have it brand new fresh. And I know that's something that totally blew my mind when I learned that. So boom. But bananas are really portable. Just make sure you're getting a smaller one, just because bananas are a little bit higher in sugar, a little bit higher in calories, but they're great for you. Obviously, fruit is a great thing, and it's very easily portable. Baby carrots are another thing that I like to have on hand. Actually, it's killing me that I don't have them right now because they are so easy to just grab and go and take along.
Amanda, real quick about the Beach Bar. Can you share the counts of what they are?
Yeah, and actually just reminded me about the good news that I wanted to share.
Oh yeah.
So the great thing about Beach Bars is they come from Beachbody, and for us, that means that we understand exactly what the container counts are for them. And so these count in your meal plan as a half a red, a half of a yellow, and a teaspoon. So you can account for that in your in your meal plan, and if you're following that meal plan exactly how it's going to count in your day for food, so that you can eat accordingly for the rest of your day. Okay. And these are not vegan. I always get that question. We do have two amazing flavors that are out right now. This is chocolate cherry almond, and we have peanut butter chocolate, and both of them are amazing. I am a huge peanut butter chocolate aholic, and I didn't think that I would like these, but I actually like both of them a lot. So that, and the good news is we do have a vegan Beach Bar coming in December of this year, 2019. And it is a dark almond crunch. So I think it's a dark chocolate and almond, I think. So that's amazing. So if you've been waiting for vegan beach bars, they are coming. And, you know, so if you're sensitive to whey or dairy, or you just don't like to eat that or incorporate that into your nutrition, then you will have another option. And again, we're going to know exactly what the counts are. We're going to know exactly what we're getting. And in terms of price and comparison to a lot of the other competitors on the market, it really, really stacks up as a really good bar. It's lower in sugar, it's higher in fiber, and also the protein count is pretty good. Speaking of other bars, these are not from Beachbody at all. They're just a nice thing that I actually kind of stumbled across on Instagram. And they're called Verb energy bars. So they come in 3 different flavors. And so right now we have the maple blueberry, and I have the salted peanut butter, and my husband loves these too, which is why we get them. They're about $20 every month, and I think they come, let me see if I can, so there are 12 bars, and they're Verb energy bars because they're caffeinated. So they're caffeinated by green tea, and I usually count these as a yellow or a carb in my meal plan, and it's just something that if you need a little bit of extra energy on the go and you don't have Energize, you don't have coffee, you don't have tea, this is equal to this has as much caffeine as a shot of espresso. So it's 65 milligrams of caffeine. It's 90 calories. And the ingredients are really good, you guys. They're like, I'm pretty picky about my ingredients now, and the ingredients are really good. They're so this one, for example, is just made from oats, agave, almond butter, blueberries, crisp brown rice, a little bit of brown sugar, quinoa, vanilla extract, maple extract, and organic green tea caffeine. That's it. So the ingredients are really good. The customer service is amazing. And these are just a nice little thing for a pick-me-up and also a snack. Obviously, they're not going to keep you very full. You're going to have to eat it with something else that's a little bit more substantial in order to feel full. But if you need a little bit of a boost and you want a little snack, these are awesome. So if you want any more information on how to get those, I'll get that for you at a different time. But they're amazing, and I like to share about them. Okay, we talked a little bit about the pecans. Pumpkin seeds are another one that are awesome just to have. You can pair those again with veggies or fruits, or just eat them on your own. Just measure them out. That's really my main thing that I want to tell you guys. And another thing is you can always take veggies with some dressings for dip. Again, you can measure it out. Just about 2 tablespoons is fine. That's plenty. I mean, you're going to find once you actually start eating that that's actually plenty of dip. Another thing, it's not necessarily a snack, but this is something that I like to let people know, because sometimes you think that you're hungry, but you're actually thirsty. So make sure that you always have your water with you. And sometimes you actually need I feel like I need a little bit of bubbly stuff. So I always have some flavored seltzer or sparkling water on hand, and just get whatever kind that you like, whatever flavors. This is the watermelon lemonade. This is just regular lemon. And I actually do this. I do something similar. Like, I really don't like a lot of flavor or sweetness, but I just need a little to actually drink it. So I do kind of the same thing as I do with the yogurt, and I'll drink like a few sips of this, and then I'll mix it with this. And it makes it a little bit less carbonated. It makes it a little bit, it gives it a little bit of flavor. So I actually drink my water. And that's a huge thing, because we often mistake thirst for hunger. So just make sure that you're taking your water along, and you're making it a priority to drink your water, because you might actually just only be thirsty, think that you're hungry. And the last thing that I have is Shakeology. This is actually, okay, so this can be turned into anything. these packets or a scoop on their own is just like a snack. It's a protein just by itself. There's a lot of nutrients in this, so it's not just protein. Like there's a ton of great stuff in here, and you're going to get a lot of nutrients out of it. So it is sort of like eating a meal, but in terms of like the calories and the amount of like macros involved, it's just going to be counting towards a protein. So if I were to just have this packet on its own, that would only be a snack for me. Even if I added like a little bit of peanut butter or even the powder to it, it's really only a snack. I always make my Shakeology into a meal, first of all, because I blend it. I cannot drink this Shakeology by itself in a shaker. Some people can do that, but I can't. So I actually always turn my Shakeology into a meal, but this is like in a pinch, it's a great snack that you can have on the go. But even if you're mixing it with like a fruit or even a veggie, you can really sneak your veggies into Shakeology. By the way, you guys, I do it every single day, and I actually mix it with a carb. I mix it with a veggie and a carb, and it's fantastic. It actually meets one of my meal requirements. It's so easy, and that's a perfect breakfast for me. But you can have this as a snack. It's always great to grab and go, and also you can drink it as you're driving or doing other things, which that's awesome. And that's everything. That really covers it. So if you guys have questions, have at it.
This is like gold, this call. Like, I appreciate so much you coming on here and sharing with us, because I took a full page of notes myself, and I've been doing this for a long time too. So super, super excited. The sweet and savory snack options of the feta and spinach and blueberries, or strawberries and cucumber and feta, or peaches, feta and spinach, like that sounds so up my alley. And I would even like drizzle balsamic vinegar on them. Like that sounds amazing. I would keep it small, but I would. Sounds so good. And you know what? Here's the thing about all of those things. Every single thing Amanda mentioned, I'm going to get you off of this speaker view. Every single thing that Amanda mentioned is quick. Every single one of them. And almost every single one of them you can make ahead of time for multiple days in a row, which I love. So whether you're a stay-at-home mom who has like 8 million children and you're like a chauffeur 24/7, or you're going to work all day and you need to have everything packed ahead of time and everything in between, these are great suggestions. I love them. Anybody, if you're a dad who's super busy, a mom who's super busy, a single person who's super busy, like it doesn't matter who you are, we're all busy. And all of these tips are super awesome. I love that she talked about eating full veggies like fruit. Guys, this is a mindset thing through and through, okay? For some reason, we're okay with eating an apple, but not a pepper the same way, or like a cucumber. Literally, when I have to pack stuff up for the day and I'm like, oh, I should bring cucumber for my veggie, I just cut the cucumber. Like if I have those long ones, I just cut it in half and throw it in there and eat it like an apple. Like, why not? Why not? We eat bananas like that. We eat apples like that. Why can't we eat a cucumber like that? Same with the peppers. Same with every other fruit. Like, I mean, seriously, it's not a big deal, right? And I love eating that in front of somebody who like gives me a look. I think it's great. So yeah, eat your veggie, like do things quick and just throw it in there. It's not a big deal. Watering things down. Amanda talked about, you blew my mind with the yogurt. Seriously. It sounds so stupid, but my mind is blown. And you do the same with your drinks, which I super, super love. But also you can do it with salad dressings. Like if you don't feel like the salad dressing is enough, if you feel like, which is kind of crazy, they really are a lot. But if you want to make it more, then just water it down a little bit. you'll never know the difference. The Shakeology, I wanted to ask you, you said you mix in veggies and carbs. What are some of the veggies and what are some of the carbs that you mix into it?
Frozen veggies are my thing. Like I buy frozen veggies every single week. And so I buy religiously diced butternut squash. That's one of my things I always throw. It's like you can barely taste the difference between that and pumpkin, but it counts as a vegetable. One thing I did just find this last week is pureed butternut squash. And so what I did with that right before this call is this is a half a cup. I'm going to count it as a veggie since it's pureed. I'm going to throw these straight into I do this with pumpkin too, but I count it as half of a fruit if it's pumpkin. I'm going to count this as a full veggie. And you guys, this really makes your Shakeology taste like ice cream. It's so much more thick and flavorful, and like I like to eat my Shakeology with a spoon. That's the kind of consistency I like for Shakeology. I've been throwing sweet potatoes in there as my carb. I actually got pureed sweet potatoes this time too. And I did the same exact thing with that. But I usually just throw half of a sweet potato right in there. I throw oats in there. I throw edamame, frozen edamame. You'd think like, ew, that's disgusting, but it just like thickens it up. It makes it so satisfying. Like I can't tell you. And at first it's kind of weird, especially if you're used to your Shakeology with fruit. But once you just adjust your taste buds, and I did this with 80-Day Obsession. I just did it with frozen sweet potatoes and spinach, and I did it for a couple days. And before I know, now I don't put fruit in my Shakeology. It's too sweet if I put fruit in my Shakeology. You just have to give yourself a couple days for your taste buds to sort of adjust. And now that's how I prefer my Shakeology, and it's a meal, and it's satisfying, it's filling, it holds me for 3 hours, and it tastes like peanut butter and chocolate because that's what I love. So
that's amazing. And you know what, guys, Amanda brings up a really good point. Like she didn't say it took me a couple months for my taste buds to adjust. She said not even a couple weeks. She said a couple days. You got to understand how our bodies work, and a lot of people are like, well, I don't like that. Well, literally it only takes days of eating something for your taste buds to adjust. And if it's something that like pairs well, like what you're talking about, you're going to get used to it so fast. And I love the idea of putting the butternut squash in there as a frozen veggie. I eat, like, because I'm on the same time nutrition as Amanda, I eat my Shakeology with just ice and spinach. I don't even add peanut butter or anything to it anymore. I use almond milk, but that's it. And I have totally gotten used to it, and it's not super sweet anymore. And I eat my oats on the side because I just like to chew things. So go ahead with the cauliflower.
So I buy just regular frozen cauliflower, but you can use riced cauliflower. I have just thrown whole frozen cauliflower florets in there with edamame. Like you cannot taste it. Like these things are so neutral. It's covered by the Shakeology. So,
and if you want to start small, you can start small. Put half a cup of something in there. Start small and see how you can get used to it. So, oh my God, all of these things. But the last thing I want to say is you said something about food and how this has helped you feel empowered. And I'm going to name this talk the Feel Empowered with Food talk, because honestly, these tips are they're just gold. They're gold. They're lifelong skills that you will have. You'll be able to teach your kids. The yogurt thing I think is awesome for kids too, by the way. All of these tips are amazing, and I really, really appreciate you coming on here. Thank you so much, Amanda. Colleen said, is that what you use for the pre-workout meal? I think that's what you were.
No, I actually, whenever I was eating in the higher plan, yes. What I would do is I would make muffins, and that's still what I do. I've been making like pies. So whatever I do is I blend. Most of the time it's banana and eggs, and then I cook it in the oven, like literally in a pie pan. And I calculate the containers in my head and what the servings are, and then I cut it. It's usually I make enough for 3 servings at a time, so I'm covered for 3 days, and I get up and I heat it up a little bit in the microwave at 5 in the morning, and that is literally what gets me out of bed because I'm not even energized. It is that meal because it's so good. I usually use egg whites too, in addition to, like, I'll measure some of the egg whites and the eggs, so it's a lot to actually eat, and it's really good. So that's what I make for my pre-workout.
I love that you do that, because I do eggs and banana as pancakes in the middle of the day. But for my pre-workout, I also do the same thing. I make 3 days in a row of something. Usually, I actually used to make muffins, but I gave up because it took too long. So now I use a pie dish, and I make like a quiche. And I wake up and I zap it in the microwave for like 30 seconds to a minute, and I eat it. And so it works out really well for me too.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Have an awesome day. Next week, we'll be here again at 8 a.m. Eastern time, and we'll have another topic to be announced. All right. Talk to you later. Goodbye. Thanks,
Bye.
Amanda.